Welcome to the Mind of Psyche, where we talk music, addiction, comedy, culture. If you like this content, please leave feedback and subscribe. Let's get into it. On this episode, I just want to talk bullshit. It's been a couple of weeks since I dropped my last one. And I think it's important that we all just get things off our chest, that we have an understanding about ourselves, whether it's good or bad, self-help, mindfulness, self-care, all of that stuff. For most of us, we have been on a rat race for years and years and years with us ourselves neglecting ourselves, not eating right or eating too much, eating junk food, not exercising, not taking proper care of their hygiene at points, just everything in general. Now, when I think of things involving like stress, feelings, whether it's personal, whether it's business, we all have different ways of dealing with it. But let's be honest. Do we actually deal with it? Or do we just poo-poo it to the side? So, in my opinion, given the only examples that I've done in the past and try to do now, are take care of myself, wake up every day, start with the positive mantra. No, it sounds silly because I thought it for years. I thought it was silly to do that, but it truly does work. If you have if you believe in a higher being, work with that. You have a close friend that you can confide in, that you can get that stress off of, maybe your partner, what have you. That's super important because we really need to have the understanding of the situational aspect that we're in right now. What do I mean by that? We have to be aware of what's going on in our life and take point regarding the daily activities of work, so on and so forth. Now, I always ask myself, why? Why start in the morning, a mantra? And I've mentioned this mantra time and time again, the life or death, because it's my choice in a way, whether I do right, stay sober, eat well to the best of my ability, and let everybody else in for what it is. So I have that keen sense when I wake up, whether it be internally or I say it out loud. It's more of like a jump up and get things done of, okay, I need to start my day. I need to feel this because it's important, it's important that when you get out of bed, first, that you're able to get out of bed. Second, that you're doing something productive when you get out of bed. Now, every once in a while, it's cool to just sleep in, do what you need to do. And that brings me to my second point. Once I say that mantra, say what I need to say to hype myself up, I go take a shower, do all of that. I think for the majority of us, especially as adults, that's what we do. We're setting this routine, especially as we grow older. Like anything out of that routine is annoying. And especially early in the morning, let's say you have a job that requires you on a 9 to 5 or, not working graveyards or even second shifts. Most of the time, we're so focused on how much sleep we get For me, for instance, for years, I had to work at 8 a.m. I would sleep until 7, then get ready real quick, then go to work instead of taking my time and getting up at like 6:30, doing what I need to do because that's important. But I needed to understand that. And then as time progresses, I've noticed, especially recently, getting up earlier is super beneficial for me because I can get so much done. And I'm not talking like, I'm talking, I wake up at like 5 a.m. now. And I've noticed it's been about 2 weeks since I've been doing that. The productivity of what I'm doing is so much higher than sleeping in until 8 or 9 if on my off days. So once we get all that done, once I get all that done, it's important for me to take a minute to, I'm the type of person also that wants to strategize my day. I usually do that the night before if I can, figure out what I need to do, what needs to be completed, and that helps me. And of course, I always have things in my reminders to remind me just in case I forget. But there's also that time when you need to do your hobbies, when you need to feel good about yourself, whether it's going for a manicure, whether it's going to the range to golf, or whether it's hanging out with buddies, going to lunch with a family member or a friend. It's something so important because that's just the way it works. That's what we need internally. At least that's my view of it, that we need somebody to talk to, whether it's a best friend, whether it's a partner. I feel that I always feel better after talking to somebody. And I'm not much of a talker on the phone. I enjoy doing the texting because I want music I have to have or something like that. It's important to me to have that level headedness. So, meaning with the whole phone thing, yeah, I do it, but I'm more of like an in person, and I know not all the people I can talk to are sitting right next to me. So there are longer conversations, which I enjoy. But what I'm getting at is I feel enjoyment getting stuff off my chest, getting feedback from people. It's improving myself. And I also think that feedback is a huge thing, especially what us adults are going through, what we're having to do. 99% of us have jobs, responsibilities, and we're stressed. What's the easiest way for a lot of people to mentally get out of that stress or to just subside it? It's food, it's drinking, what have you. But it's still something to an extreme that we do. Who doesn't like going home, doing whatever tasks you need to do, take a shower, and then sit down for dinner and not worry about calories? Hello, I think that's everybody. But should we do that? No, we shouldn't. Having a understanding, I love the word understanding because it gets to the reality in your own body, in your mind, to understand, okay, of this is real life, this is what needs to be done versus this is what you think in a dream state. We can all think we're millionaires and kings and queens, but in reality, we're just regular people trying to make it through. Now, can we do it? Yeah. Some people can fight to the height and become so successful that they may perceive that they're king or queen, not necessarily the truth. But knowing and communicating internally is another self-help thing I like to do. But back to the morning routine and stuff, it's easier, I see, to take your time and be less stressed. That's what I tend to do, is especially lately, just do what you can in the morning. If you need to exercise, do whatever, write in your journal, just feel good about yourself to get up through that day. That's the best thing ever, because then you can start off and figure out, okay, let's do this. I need to do this, that, other things, because you just don't have work or school. You also have family obligations. You also have, whether you're in sports, whether you have a bowling league, after work, what have you. It's all different for all of us. Me, I start talking. I get on my podcast and I start talking, and that's a stress reliever. That's one of my main hobbies. And as for most of you that have listened to me throughout, you've noticed, I truly, really love this, because me getting to talk out loud, even though it's to a microphone, is still very beneficial to me, because then I can while I'm editing, I can listen to it and figure out, okay, this is what I said. This is how I can do better. Maybe I can cut this, maybe not saying so much or like so much. I get my own feedback. It's because everything is about improvement. Everything is about self-improvement and improving and helping improve somebody else's life within yours that you're a part of, whether it be siblings, family, partner, friends, whatever. We should all be there as their hype people, because we're all not going to have the best day. And being that hype man, being that energetic, positive person means a world of difference. And not everybody, when they get home, wants to necessarily be rushed at the door and be talked to. Some people just want to go home, chill, give me about 5-10 minutes, maybe 15, get everything squared away, do what I need to do, and then I'll talk. Because it's a decompression mentally for me, because I do that when I'm around people. Living by yourself, so on and so forth, you really don't have to worry about that decompressing. You want to talk to somebody, they call you, you can always hit ignore. Because I think it's so important for self-fulfillment that you get your time. It's all well and dandy to talk to people, but you also need to feel true to yourself and worry about yourself, number one, because if you can't worry about yourself and take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody. Now, with that being said, most of me, guys, mostly I do all this raw. I just want to get that out here. This is how I speak. For all y'all new people, just keep on listening. I'm really focused on the whole self-care mindset, doing what's good, trying to prevent that evil that's been happening every day for so long. Try to bring that positivity, that joyfulness, that love for one another, for our fellow humans. So on that note, just feel good about yourself, do what you need to do, and overall, have a great day. See you next week. I'm out. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe and leave a comment. You can hear me on all major platforms and socials under the Mind of Psychic podcast. See you next time.